Jai Shri Venkateswara, Jai Shri Annamayya. In today's satsang, let us know about the power of sounds or the working with sound. How can we work with the sound? Usually we are doing the mantras, we are doing the chants, we are doing the sankeerthanam, we are doing the bhajn, etc. But let us understand in a nice and profound way the working with sound. So people in the West have little or no idea of the forces that lie latent in the sound, the vibration that may be set up by those who understand how to pronounce these certain words. So the wisdom teaching tells that the entire activity in the cosmos takes place because of the sound, and that the study and the effect of the sound will give an enormous instrument into the hands of the humanity. So sound can be constructive and also destructive. It is said that during the time of Atlanteans, some ascendants to higher planes with the help of the science of sound, but others destroyed themselves through an irresponsible use, and that was resulted in the submerging of humanity. So through the influence of the time and increasing materialism, the man has lost the key to the sound, even for the color and form and the relative divine powers. So it was only in some parts of India and Tibet, so this knowledge was perceived, but kept back from the misuse. So a little bit more than 100 years ago, the spiritual hierarchy has decided to give it again this sound principles of use. Thus the knowledge will now be given to the people who are willing to work with it for the good of humanity, not just like that to tell this mantras. So mantras helping in purifying the emotional and mental body. So they can be sounded in the, we can see in some hospitals, healing centers, proposing relief and even cure to the sick. So they can be used in conferences, seminars to provide clarity at the mental plane in the participants. So when the important global events happen, the significance are about to take place. When, for example, in peace talks and held between the two nations, warnings. So in that, and groups of people recommended to work with the mantras to bestow the light and love on the concern of man. So during the calamities also it is being utilized. So they help in works of good, will to rebuild the society in tune with the law, and they produced and spread a field of light around the practicing groups and insulate against the impact of the negative forces. So this was the things we can know it and we can perceive it. Sometimes we do these things. So the soundless sound in this age, sound is the certain key for transformation and for inner work. Sound is more subtle and light. Sound is more subtle than light or forms, is not? So when we are speaking, we are diverging from one sound to many. When we start listening from divergence, we are getting back into the convergence towards one sound. So when we listen to the silence, we will hear the humming sound. So this is the undertone, the basis of all speech, all inhalation and exhalation. Whatever the exhalation and inhalation we are doing, so we don't utter it. There's only a continuous happening within ourselves. So when we listen to the subjective sound, we listen to the om, or the om which is uttered is only to the tune up to the om. So that is in us. So it is a duplicate of the Om, that is eternally happening inside. So if Om concludes, we are concluded. If Om terminates, the world terminates. So many people sing Om but not really listen to it. So we only can listen to the intonated Om when we have developed the faculty to listen in daily, day-to-day life. So the source of from which the sound emerges is the heart center. So this center is called Anahata in Sanskrit, and can hear the soundless sound and listen to the voice of silence. So this manifests electric energy of the spirit and magnetic fluid of the soul and prana. The daily intonation of this sacred word repeatedly said, so the thoughts of the lower vibration, and it attracts the thoughts of the finer nature. So this have to happen within. When we say Om, we need to listen to it, and it will make the lower vibration of the thoughts and thoughts to become or to attract the finer nature in us, because there is a finer nature in us which we don't know. Only when we do this Om, we can come to know this. So good bodies for higher souls can be built up, and we can use the Om. It is it is very much important that we can utter it with determination. So constructively, and cause only thought of goodwill translated into good actions. So we will destroy other thoughts with Om. So otherwise Om will destroy us. All our intentions to work with Om will be destroyed. When the thought and the tongue are critical, judgmental and negative, and we thus hurt and discourage others, through thoughtless speech, we also waste accumulated energy. So, seed thoughts, mantrams, and rhythmical arrangements. So, the heart center is the door to the inner chambers, which leads us into the system of the spinal column. And there you find 7 energy centers, as you know. The 7 seed sounds, and each seed sound has groups of sounds as its own companion. We know in that Saraswati Suktam we read it. Saptasvasasu Jushta. Yeah, the Saptaswaras. They multiply and they make into number of sounds. So each one of them will have so many companions, which is very much powerful and essentially fairly. So mantrams have their roots in the seed sounds and are diluted versions. So further diluted are hymns, bhajn, songs, sankeerthanas, etc. So mantric sounds are the universal and should not be understood as Eastern, Indian, Sanskrit version. The Gayatri mantra, for example, relates to the entire universe, and it invokes the solar energy into us. So it is the contemplation on that which exists in all planes of consciousness. That is consciousness, force, and matter. So that permeates and fulfills us. Therefore, the spirit hierarchy has decided to spread the Gayatri mantra globally and to see to it that it is sung by as many groups as possible. The sound may be regarded as the spirit. While the seed sound, the mantrams and the language relating there to represent the soul, and the language, the personality of the race of or community. So, attachment towards one's own language can be seen as love of one's own personality. With the mantrams, the sound vibrations are essential, but not the language and the meaning. Therefore, the approach toward the mantrams is towards the vibration set forth, but not to the meaning. So, there the concrete mind is trying to synthesize. No, it is synthesize, systemize, and would find it very difficult, and then crystallize. So, mantric forms are collection of phrases, words, and sounds which, by virtue of rhythmic effect achieve results that would be possible apart from them. So, when we come to the occult meditation, the specific intonation brings in rhythm to the person practicing it, and in order to reach the vibration, he should carefully listen to the sound of the letter, and he is recommended not to utter unless he has listened well and gained and related the confidence with the utterance. When we utter a mantra regularly and with an attitude of veneration, then the sound vibration creates a very nice light, a protective etheric shield around you, which allows to proceed into the right direction and prevent us from the wrong direction. But causal utterance would not give such result. So, by rhythmic arrangement of sound vibration, a mantra can be given by the initiate in any language. It was prophesied by the Master of Wisdom, that is the year to come. English will be, so years to go in English will be the language for the spiritualists, and therefore the seers and the devatas of the sound are all now working out the pattern and modalities in English. So the syllables of the English language are now selected as the meditation symbols of the spiritualists of all the regions of the earth globe. So some names of the masters have become mantrams. We utter the sound of the visualize just and propose the presence without any further mental contemplation and on it, and in this presence we can do our meditative exercise and try to put his teachings into the day-to-day practice. No genuine master has ever asked to meditate on his form. He remains only a channel for that which is beyond. So, and it is the work of the Uranus to introduce a new working with the sound. So, in the present cycle, Master CVV was the first who invoked the ray of Uranus and made them available. So, he proposed this syllables CVV as a sound potency in order to stimulate the Uranian energy in us and to transform the matter. So, it is his promise to correct us from within and to take us as faster development through dynamic changes. So it is in this way that within 12 years the energies of the synthesis lying latent in us will become dynamic, and our consciousness will get integrated into the universal consciousness or into synthesis. So this is what the sound does for us in the day-to-day life. When you chant the mantra or master C, V, V. This mantra, these three letters have their own potency, and it has a very beautiful energies. So these energies can be converted into the good healing. Apart from healing, it does a very good humanity raising. The humanity can raise when you do this process of Master CVV meditation. So in that way the sound works, and we all know how it is working with this mantrams when we are learning the Rig Veda mantras. So those mantras are very much important because it's a language of the devatas, and the sentence might not have any kind of meaning, but there is a certain required energy forming in the mantra. So there is a required effect and required energy in the mantra. So that is why the mantra is more powerful than anything. So nowadays we all know the importance of it, and we try to do it. So it should be done in a right intonation. That's more important. You should not rush it. You should not be in a very fast way saying the mantra in the cow's ear and go away and say, today I did the mantra. No, that cannot help you, or it cannot bring any kind of development in you. So the sound has so much effect, and let us use it. Jai Shri Venkateswara, Jai Shri Annamayya.